Shock. Josslyn kills Brennan after learning the whole truth. Port Charles had seen chaos before. Explosions. Shootings. Mob wars. Betrayals. People coming back from the dead. But nothing prepared the town for what would happen on the night Josslyn Jax learned the truth about Brennan, the man who had infiltrated her family, manipulated her relationships, and nearly destroyed everything she cared about. The truth was going to come out. People were going to get hurt. And when the dust settled, Josslyn would do something no one ever imagined she could do. She would take a life. Josslyn Jax had been restless for weeks. The feeling began right after Brennan resurfaced in Port Charles with his smooth charm, suspiciously calm demeanor, and never-ending ability to twist himself into the lives of everyone around Sunny. But most troubling for Joss was not Brennan's connection to Sunny. It was his strange, almost obsessive, interest in her. At first she ignored it. Then she pretended she imagined it. But she couldn't anymore. Because she had seen Brennan watching her again, this time inside GH while she visited Dex for a routine checkup after his undercover mission left him bruised. And Brennan had smiled. A smile that didn't match the warmth he showed the public. A smile that sent ice down her spine. She didn't tell Dex. She didn't tell Carly. She didn't even tell Trina. She pushed it aside. But something inside her warned. He's hiding something. And it's about you. The truth had a strange way of finding Josslyn when she didn't want it. And tonight was no exception. After leaving Kelly's late, she spotted Brennan slipping quietly into the old sub-basement of the hospital, an area under renovation, blocked off to staff. He wasn't supposed to be down there. Nobody was. Curiosity won. Fear too. And anger, because Josslyn had spent months feeling like a target without understanding why. She followed him. The basement was almost dark, lit only by flickering safety lights that cast shadows along the narrow hallways. Brennan opened a metal door using a restricted security code, something Josslyn wasn't supposed to see. But she did. The door closed behind him. And that's when Josslyn made the decision that would change her fate. The room Brennan entered was filled with dusty cabinets, bundles of documents, and several locked boxes labeled WSP evidence. A low hum came from an old computer system, updated just enough to stay functional. Brennan walked toward the computer, typed in a password, and began downloading files to a USB drive. Josslyn kept hidden behind a shelf. Then she saw the screen. Her own picture. A surveillance photo taken from months before Dex, before Sunny's case, before everything. But it wasn't the photo that broke her. It was the label. Target 07, Josslyn Jax, Leverage. Her blood went cold. Leverage? For what? Against whom? And then the screen changed again. This time the picture was of Carly. Another, Donna. Another, Jax. There were notes under each name, information Brennan had gathered. Patterns. Routines. Private records. And then, Dex. The file on Dex was huge. Pages of details. Reports on his movements. Photos of him asleep. And then the words. If Dex refuses Operation 14, eliminate. If Josslyn interferes, uses pressure. Josslyn's hand covered her mouth, breath shaking. Dex wasn't just monitored. He was marked for death. And she was the pressure point. Her fear dissolved. Replaced by pure rage. But she wasn't prepared for what the next file revealed. A video file loaded. Josslyn watched in horror as Brennan appeared on screen, speaking to a group of shadowed figures. We used Josslyn Jax to get close to the Corinthos family. Sunny will do anything to protect Carly's children. The girl is valuable leverage. Dex Heller will fall in line once she is under my control. Control? Brennan planned to use her, kidnap her even, to force Dex back into a deadly undercover scheme. The floor under her felt unstable. Her breath shallow. Her vision blurred. Brennan wasn't just dangerous. He was a monster. Josslyn stepped backward. A metal crate scraped. The sound echoed like a gunshot. Brennan turned around. Their eyes locked. There was no more hiding. Brennan's smile unfurled slowly, chillingly. I wondered when you'd find this room. Josslyn tried to run. He moved faster. He slammed the door shut, trapping her inside. Curiosity can be a dangerous trait, he said softly. You're planning to hurt my family, she spat. Planning to hurt Dex. Dex is a puppet. You're the strings. Josslyn's heart pounded. Why me? She whispered. Brennan's expression shifted from cold to something darker, obsessive. Because you're predictable. Emotional. Easy to manipulate. I've studied you for months, Josslyn. You're the key to everything. Her stomach twisted in disgust. You're sick. No, Brennan corrected calmly. I'm necessary. And then he reached for her. Josslyn dodged his hand and bolted toward the side of the room. Brennan seized her wrist. She fought, harder than she ever had before. But Brennan was stronger. Trained. Calm. She scratched him. Kicked. Hit. Screamed. He overpowered her every time. Stop fighting, he hissed, twisting her arm behind her back. It's easier if you let this happen. Dex will do whatever I say once he knows I have you. I'll never let you touch me again. She slammed her head backward, hitting his jaw. He cursed and released her. For a moment, just one, she was free. She grabbed the nearest object, a metal surgical instrument tray, and swung. It crashed into Brennan's shoulder. He staggered. But not enough. He lunged, grabbed her hair, and threw her against a cabinet. Pain burst through her spine. Her knees buckled. He approached slowly, breathing harder. When I'm finished, you'll wish you never walked into this room. Josslyn crawled backward until her hand brushed against something cold. A weapon. A small emergency fire axe mounted behind the cabinet. She grabbed it, and when Brennan reached for her, she swung. The first hit landed across his arm. He screamed. The second tore into his shoulder. The third, the one that changed her life, struck his chest. He fell forward, shock washing across his face. Blood spread across his shirt. He tried to speak, to breathe. But Josslyn stood over him, trembling, covered in fear and adrenaline. You weren't supposed, Brennan gasped. No, she said, voice trembling but steady. You weren't supposed to hurt my family. He collapsed. And Brennan, master manipulator, silent predator, the man who nearly destroyed Dex, was dead. Josslyn dropped the axe. Her hands shook. Her chest heaved. She had killed him. Killed to protect Dex. Killed to protect Carly. Killed because Brennan left her no choice. But the terror hadn't ended. Because now she had to call for help. Sirens. Doctors rushing. Security alarms blaring. Jordan. Chase. Dante. Carly crying. Dex running through the hallways. Trina trying to hold Josslyn upright. Everything blurred. Josslyn barely remembered speaking. Barely remembered explaining. She remembered Dex's arms around her. He whispered. You're safe. I'm here. You're safe now. I swear I won't let anything happen to you. She remembered Carly holding her, too. You're my daughter. You did what you had to do. But the investigation loomed. Questions. Reports. Legal issues. And Josslyn couldn't stop replaying it. The axe. The blood. The fear. The moment she crossed a line she could never return from. The town exploded in chaos. Half believed Josslyn acted in self-defense. The other half claimed it was murder. Reporters camped outside GH. News headlines read, Josslyn Jax kills Brennan. What really happened? Was Brennan secretly targeting the Corinthos family? Is Josslyn the new face of Port Charles vigilantism? But the most chilling response came from Sonny. He visited her quietly at Carly's house. He sat beside her. His voice gentle. You protected your family. I'll make sure the world knows the truth. Josslyn cried into his chest, unable to speak. Sonny kissed her head. You're strong. Stronger than you know. And I'm proud of you. She expected anger, disappointment, judgment. Instead she found love. But that didn't erase the nightmares. Dex sat across from her on Carly's couch later that night. He took her hands gently. He whispered, Tell me everything. I want your truth. Not the police version. Not the brave version. Your version. And she did. She broke down halfway through. She shook, cried, collapsed against him. Dex held her, tears in his own eyes. Joss, he was going to kidnap you. Or kill you. Or use you to break me. You saved your own life. You saved mine. I killed someone, Dex. He cupped her face. And if you hadn't, I'd be the one dead. Or you would. Brennan did this. Not you. Their foreheads touched. He whispered, I love you. Nothing will change that. For the first time in hours, Josslyn breathed without shaking. Jordan gathered her team the next morning. The room was tense. Evidence pointed clearly to self-defense. Brennan's files. Surveillance footage. His attempt to attack Josslyn. His weapon hidden under his coat. His operation targeting Dex and Sunny. But political pressure rose. WSP demanded answers. Federal investigators appeared. They wanted the narrative changed. They wanted Brennan framed as a victim of mob retaliation. But Jordan refused. Brennan was a predator. And Josslyn stopped him. This case stays open and shut. The feds weren't happy. But truth was truth. Josslyn would not face charges. Weeks passed. Josslyn healed physically. Emotionally, she tried. Therapy helped. Family helped. Dex helped the most. But she wasn't the same. She was sharper. Stronger. Less trusting. More aware of danger. The girl she used to be died in that basement with Brennan. A new Josslyn emerged. And she wasn't afraid of protecting the people she loved. Not anymore. Just when Port Charles began to settle, Dante found a hidden drive in Brennan's belongings. He plugged it into PCPD's secure system. A video loaded. A message addressed to Brennan appeared, injured, breathing heavily. If you're watching this, it means my plan failed. But you cannot stop what's coming. Josslyn Jax is only the beginning. And soon, Port Charles will fall. You have no idea who I was working for. The screen went black. Dante stared at the monitor, horrified. And somewhere far away, a hidden figure watched the same footage.